Hello, welcome back to Random Stupid Math. Um, over at school, I've been asked a lot of times, "Oh, hey, I saw your video. You're a crazy psychopath." And I'd nod my head and say, "Oh, thank you." And they would say, "But could you do some more videos?" And some people even said, "How do you have the time to do this?" Well, it takes me the same time to do this than it takes me to do my homework, so it's a win-win situation. I'm helping you guys. Come on. So, the math overseer has given me more problems to do, so let's just get on them right away. So, the first one is page 311, question 5, and it says, to A, find the slope of the given line, and in this example they give us x plus y is equal to 8, and they say B, find the slope of the line perpendicular to the given line. Well, if we want to do anything and we want to find a slope or anything, we have to put this in standard form, which is y equals mx plus b, and from there we can determine that m would be the slope. And if you want, b could also be the y-intercept if you want it to be. So let's do some algebra. We can subtract x from both sides, and that would mean that y equals negative x plus 8. And we are already in our standard form. So what is the slope here? Well, this negative sign, it's just -1. That's the slope. So part A is done. Now what do they want us to do? They want us to find this slope perpendicular to this. So let me ask you a question. If I draw a line here, draw two lines here, and get back the pen tool, and I call this y and I call this x, and if something has a slope of -1, so let's say that this is the graph that we're dealing with here, which is y equals -x plus 8, what would be the line that's perpendicular to this? Well, we could draw a perpendicular line right here, couldn't we? And intuitively, it looks like the slope would just be 1, right? I mean, rise over 1, rise over 1. And estimating through sight, you would see that it's the same amount, but it's just flipped. It's 1. And that actually is the right answer because these two lines are perpendicular. But there's actually a way, there's a formula. Well, not really a formula, but a rule of thumb. So if we say that the slope is -1, that just means -1 over 1. And there's a rule. If you want to find the perpendicular slope of any line, all that you do is take the negative reciprocal. Now you might be saying, what does this mean? Well, first thing you have to do is make it negative, so flip that from negative to positive, that's 1 over 1. And now take the reciprocal of it. Just flip both numbers, and they're the same number in this case, so it's just going to be 1 over 1, or 1. And that's going to be the slope of our new line, 1. And anywhere here, it doesn't have to go through the x-axis, or the origin, I should say. It could be here, or here, or here, but it's all going to be perpendicular, and that's going to have a slope of 1 always. So I guess that's it for this damned question, right? So let's move on to question 6. They give us question 6. 2x minus y is equal to 3. Well, just what I did earlier, subtract 2x from both sides. Negative y would equal negative 2x plus 3, divide by -1, y equals 2x minus 3. And from here, you might be able to determine something, that 2 right here, yep, that's the slope. So if 2 over 1 is the slope, what's the line perpendicular to that? Well, first thing, you take the negative of it, so it's -2 over 1, and then you find the reciprocal, flip both numbers, and right there, -1/2. Show it graphically. that is the worst graph I've ever drawn, but say that this is a slope of 2 over 1, then this would be perpendicular to it, and this would be a slope of -1/2. Cool! Ow, I have the line tool for my eraser. That's kind of interesting. Anyways, number 8. Number 8 gives you through 1.1. Oh, don't you hate these questions? And 5.3. Always, when they give you these crap questions, just find the slope real quick. Right here, we determine it to be 1/2 is the slope. And actually, this type of question's pretty straightforward, doesn't it? It already gives you the slope of the line, so first thing you do, of course, you just negate it and then you reciprocate it, which is -2 over 1. So the reciprocal, the line perpendicular to it, would have a slope of -2. Now, let's not erase just yet. Still got time for more problems, more colors. Parallel to the x-axis, it says, through 5,1. So it says parallel to x-axis through 5,1. Well, what does parallel to the x-axis mean? So if I have my graph here and this is the x-axis, it can be this line, or this line, right? But it's always going to be perpendicular to the y-axis, always, right? And it goes through the point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Okay, well, if this is one of the points and it always has to be parallel to the x, then what does it have to be? Think about it for a second. Use your brain. Yes, it has to be here. Do some critical thinking. Sometimes math does not, sometimes cold hard math does not give you the easiest method, and I'm doing the easiest method right now, which would be y equals 1 would be this line. But that's not what they're asking you. Well, it kind of is. We know that the slope is 0, right? Because it's directly horizontal and parallel to the x-axis. That's the definition of parallel to the x-axis. There's no slope. But what would be perpendicular to that? Well, that's also kind of a definition. If something's perpendicular to a slope of 0, that slope is undefined. It's just straight up vertical. So this undefined. So we have the answer for number 12 and number 8 on the board. All fine and dandy. So we got 14 right here, 14.